Good morning, everyone. This is Lonnie Den. Michelle, are you able to hear me okay?
Yes, I am, and I can see your screen perfectly.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'm Lonnie Den. I'm Regional Vice President of Quality and Systems Improvement and Mission Lifeline for the Southwest Affiliate. Thank you all for joining the Get With the Guidelines Coronary Artery Disease Quality Exchange open forum. I think there are few enough of us on the call that we could do a round robin and just so that everyone has a chance to introduce themselves, and if you would just say your name, which facility you're from, and what your role is. I'm just going to open the floor.
And if you're not around where you can talk, you can type it into the Q&A box, and I'll go ahead and say it for you.
Oh, thank you, Michelle. So if you, when you entered the call, you were placed on mute. So hit *6 to unmute yourself, and then you can hit *6 again to mute yourself again. So it's not #6. I've made that mistake before. It's *6 to unmute yourself.
Well, hi, this is Betty with Houston Methodist, the Woodlands. And my role here is quality and patient safety. And I do the abstraction for the CAD lab for all the AMIs.
Okay, great. Thank you, Betty. Welcome.
Thank you.
This is Susan Fagan from North Cypress Medical Center, and I do the abstraction for CAD registry and our STEMI and non-STEMI program.
Thank you, Susan. Welcome.
My name is Cheryl Cohen. I'm with Houston Methodist Hospital, and I do the abstraction for the Action Registry through NCDR. And recently we have our Mission Lifeline accreditation, so we are just, this is new for us. We're transferring data into the CAD registry, so we're still kind of ironing out those details. So I'm not actually entering data in CAD, but we have access to CAD.
Okay, great. Thank you, Cheryl.
Good morning, this is Yvonne Harris. I'm with Doctors Hospital at Renaissance, and I am cardiac coordinator working with the heart failure and CAD for Mission Lifeline, as well as the Chest Pain Center accreditation, heart failure accreditation.
Good morning, Yvonne. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Carol Vu. I work at Arlington Memorial Hospital, and I am an abstractor for heart failure, also covering for our chest pain programs.
Morning, Carol.
Hi, I'm Megan Fry. I work at St. David's Medical Center in Austin, Texas, and I'm one of the quality coordinators, and I oversee our Get With the Guidelines CAD, obviously, and also our heart failure and STS and CAD PCI registries.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Megan. Okay, anyone else?
Hi, this is Kristen Waller, Quality and Systems Improvement Director for Arkansas.
Good morning, Kristen.
Good morning.
Hi, this is Sarah Dudzinski, QSI Director from Austin.
Morning, Sarah. Okay, we have a wonderful group. Is there anyone else?
This is Lori Burris, and I'm with I think Mrs. Hot Springs. I do the Action Registry and the SDS Registry at abstraction.
Okay, Lori, I didn't catch where you were from. Are you from Arkansas?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Hey, Lori. Okay. And anyone else? Okay, what I would like to do this morning is to keep this very informal. I am prepared to do a demo so we can run through the new platform and kind of show you around if you haven't had a chance to get in and dig into it already. But before I do that, I wanted to just see if anyone has any specific questions. I don't want someone to hang on the line for the demo if you just kind of if you had a specific question or needed something this morning and had to jump back off again. Okay, no burning questions. And if you have questions as I kind of run through the demo, please just type them in the chat box or just come off mute and ask your question. Like I said, I just want this to be really informal, and feel free to just ask questions as they come to mind. And remember, you've got to hit that *6 to unmute yourself, and then *6 again to mute again. So what you're viewing is what you're going to see when you sign in to Get With the Guidelines CAD in the new platform. So most of you know that we had a platform upgrade, and it opened up to everyone this week. We're so excited about it. We love it. It's really easy to navigate, and it's just a lot of fun to see what all is available in the upgraded platform. So after you sign in, you're just going to want to, if you're signing in for the first time into the new platform, you're going to want to take a look at all the tabs on the left-hand side. And this is where you can navigate. Right now I'm in the community page. I can go right in and add patients and find patients and go to the report section in the library. And then in the platform itself, you can also get to the patient section where you can search for a patient that you've already entered or add a new patient. There's a tab for uploading data. There's a tab for form management, and this is where you're going to want to go first. If you haven't been in the tool and you have a CAD account, you're going to want to go in before you do anything else, and you're going to want to build your custom list and fill out your facility form. So the facility form is just a questionnaire. It won't take you very long to fill it out. It's just like if you're, what your PCI capability is, if you're 24 PCI capable or not, if you're STEMI receiving or STEMI referring, if you're accredited, if you're an academic or non-academic institution, your bed size, your patient volume for your heart attack patients, whether you're a critical access hospital or not. And then this additional consent tab, we've probably had more questions about that than anything else, but people are like, what does that mean exactly? Well, we don't know. So this is something that carried over from the old platform, apparently. So we're trying to figure out what that means, but for now, you can just, check yes or no. We think it's probably related to the Regional Mission Lifeline reports, but we will, that will be changing, I think, to provide more clarification to folks. So apologies about that if that confused anyone. And so the other thing that you're going to want, I'm going to save this and exit, there we go. And then the other thing that you're going to want to do is build your custom lists. So you can go in and put in your attending physicians, your ED physicians, your EMS agency names and numbers, the facilities, if you're a referring hospital, the hospitals that you're typically transferring the patient to, your inter-facility transport EMS agency, your physician interventionalist, and the transferring hospitals that refer patients to you if you're a receiving hospital. So I'm just going to show you what this looks like. You're just going to, I'm just going to pick the first one here, and I'm going to just, I'm just going to save it. so that it shows up on my list. You can search by agency. So let's see what pulls up for Hot Springs. So there's a number of them. Pay attention to the states. So this list contains like 1,700, I think, maybe more, EMS agencies from across the country. So just be aware that you're going to want to pull down and just look for the ones that are in your area. So for you, Lori, you've got a number of them that you would probably want to add from the Hot Springs, Arkansas area. So I'm just gonna pull them up. This is here so that if you know that they're only going to be a selection that you would make during a specific time period, you can set the date parameters here. So you build your list that way, and keep in mind this is a demo site, so it doesn't it's not going to look exactly like your form management, but it gives you an idea of how to go about doing this. The custom field is something that we're really, really excited about. So,
Lonnie, I want to real fast before we move on to that. For the previous list, the custom list, do you have any reference on if they're going through a third-party vendor, if they're able to customize as well?
Oh yes, you can definitely customize. Actually, so I take that back. Your view is probably going to be a little different if you're using a third-party vendor. So I'm not exactly sure what you're going to be able to see and not see, and it will probably depend on the third-party vendor that you're using. So it might look a little bit different. And also, some hospitals, allow certain views, or vendors allow certain views and not others, depending on, how you've had it, your agreement with them and how you have it set up with them.
Okay, thank you so much, Lauren.
Mm-hmm. So the custom fields are wonderful in that if you're working on a specific process improvement project within your hospital, this is where you can track anything in the world that you want to track. There's up to 50 optional fields. You can just enter what it is that you're wanting to track, and you can set the parameters for how you want to collect that information. We love this because we know that there are some things that you want to capture that aren't on the data collection form, and this allows you to collect up to 50 additional items. And it also, like if you can change them over time. So like if there's something that you stop wanting to track and you want to track something else, you can change them up. And I'm going to go down to the library real quick because I'm going to show you, if you leave this call and like, okay, what did you say about building custom lists or custom fields? There are training videos in the library for filling out your facility form, building your custom lists and your custom fields, and then there's also a logging in and navigation training video that's in here. They're short and sweet and really easy to follow. So while I'm here, I'm just going to show you what's in the library. You've got your user manual, your coding instructions. This is the data collection form itself in case you prefer a printed copy. You've got the list of receiving center measures, and this is for the Mission Lifeline Recognition Program, the logic and rationale for those measures. You've got your receiving center quality measures, your reporting measures, your hospital measures for the referring facilities, and the measure and logic for those for referring. So all of those Mission Lifeline measures are in here. Your NSTEMI measures, if you're entering your NSTEMI patients and you're seeking and STEMI mission lifeline recognition, and measure logic and rationale. Here's your descriptive measures. And like I said, you just download and print any of those that you want. And you're going to want to go to, this is where all of the, anytime there's an update, it's going to be reflected here in the library. You're going to be able to download the most current document. And if we do make changes, if there's something that we need to tell you, you're going to get a little message in your notification section. So this will, when I logged on this morning, this had a little red dot beside it. It just was telling me that there's something that you need to read. And so this is telling people that like they need to make sure and go in and fill out the facility form so that the reports get set up and the benchmarking gets set up appropriately for your facility. I'm going to pause there and just see if there's any questions or comments. The other thing I will say is a live demo is going on all day today and all day tomorrow between the hours of 9 and 3 Central Time. If you join the, they're calling it post-launch office hours. If you don't have the information for that, if you don't have the Outlook invitation for that, send us a note and we will forward that Outlook invitation to you. At the top of the hour, every hour, they're doing a live demo and then opening it up to Q&A. So if you are in the tool today or tomorrow and you think of something that you have a question about, you can either send it to your, your local AHA-QI representative, but you can also jump on those calls and watch a demo similar to what I'm doing this morning and get your questions answered there as well. Okay, so I'm just gonna move on. The patient section is where you can go in and add a new patient or search for one that you've already entered. I'm just going to go into this patient. Keep in mind this is fake fake data. So this is a demo site, but it'll give you an idea of what the tool looks like. We have something called a show and hide feature, so that you're not having to go through a bunch of fields that don't apply to your patient. If you select something, so I'm going to go through. This is the admin tab that I'm in here. But let's say I chose Asian here, so it's going to open up a field that I need to answer. But until I selected that, you're not going to see it. And so if you want to see all of the data elements that are available, just print off that form, that the data collection form. You can see all of them, but don't get confused that when you're in here, you're like, well, now why am I not seeing all the EMS options? Well, if you select that the patient was a walk-in, those are going to be hidden so that you don't have to think about them. You're just going to bypass all of that. And here's where you can go to your different tabs. There's the pre-hospital arrival tab. This is where you're capturing how the patient arrived to you, whether they were a walk-in, ambulance, or air, transferred from another facility, the EMS information, what they looked like when EMS saw them or when first.
Excuse me, I have a question on the demographics that you were showing. Yeah. Let's say the patient is Asian. If you go back to that and you selected Asian, I was curious to see, do you have the option, let's say, typically in our situation, I'm not going to know necessarily, like on the drop-down list there, whether they're Asian, Indian, Chinese, Filipino, et cetera. And I just want to make sure, in that situation, is it best to collect just UTD or other? You know.
I would be inclined, I think, in your situation, and I do remember this question, And we asked for, I think you may have asked this maybe 6 months back or so, or maybe someone else asked the same question. So we took this to our volunteer committee who helps with all of this. And so I know they took this into consideration and they did reconfigure this. And there are certain things that they can and can't do just because of the research that is run off of this type of information. So sometimes, the volunteer group will say, well, if somebody's, if you're a researcher and you're looking for this information, then it needs to be configured in this way. So things that I don't ordinarily think about. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now, why we can't do it in specific ways. But I would tend, I think, to put unable to determine or other, just depending on how, the information that you have.
Yeah, so we've run into a glitch is, like I mentioned, we're transferring data through a third-party vendor into CAD off of the action registry. And so often, it's the same sort of situation in action. We don't have, unfortunately, an undetermined option. And so I see where you can check both of these in CAD, and that's just something we're going to have to work out with the third-party vendor because a bunch of those were showing up as not having been complete, the data not transferring over. I just wanted to make sure that other might be an option because I think we have other in action as well. So,
yeah, good question. And, when because the data collection forms between the action registry and Get With the Guideline CAD vary a little bit, even though, mapping is pretty close, probably 95% or so, when the data moves over, there's going to be a couple of things that, if you're using a vendor, they'll have it worked out with HA, like they'll know where the differences are, where, they'll need to pull it from another place, or what some people are doing that have done what we call the historic data upload, where stuff is pulled over directly from action registry. Then they'll go in and just manually edit. There's I think 5 fields that don't map exactly historically. So it's not a completely clean transfer between the registries just because of the there's a few differences.
Okay. Well, I'll let them work that out, but I was just curious on that. Thank you.
Yeah, I think actually this was added because of, and I don't know if it was you or someone else, but someone had made a request for more options. And so
it was probably someone else, but it could have been someone for our hospital. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, any other questions?
Bonnie?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. Hey, this is Kristen. I just checked the coding instructions under race, and it does say if the patient is Asian or Native Hawaiian, select the specific subcategory. If a subcategory is not documented, leave the subcategory options blank. So I would check Asian and then leave the subcategory blank if they don't know it. Does that make sense?
So instead of selecting undetermined, just do this.
Okay, hang on.
Oh, you can't see my screen. So I've just selected Asian.
Right, and if they do not know if they're Asian, Indian, Chinese, Filipino, they just leave that blank if it's not documented. Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Kristen.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so this is how you would, go ahead.
We also have another question. Is there a way just to view the documents instead of downloading them each time?
Oh, yeah. You can, I'll go back to the library. Oh, changes you made may not be saved. Okay. So yeah, you can, like let's say I want to just download the data collection form. And thank you, Kristen, for being our coding instruction, for looking that up. So you can view it this way. This is the data collection form. I can download it and print it up here off of my screen, but I can just pull it up and look at it this way. The highlighted sections are the ones that have been added with the platform upgrade, added or changed in some way. Okay. Is that what you were looking for, Michelle?
I believe so. Yolanda, is that okay?
I'm sorry? Oh, I see. You were asking for someone else.
It looks okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, let's go back to our patient. Just look at the other tabs. You've got hospitalization tab where you're going to record things like, you know, whether they had open heart surgery during this admission, LDL, LV assessment, lytics, et cetera. And do you see how once I select PCI, now this is going to open up my PCI time tracker fields. But if I don't select it, or if I hit no, those are going to go away, so you don't even need to look at them. You don't need to fill out that section. And the discharge tab, it's just, you know, your cardiac rehab, the medications that were given upon discharge. Okay, so I'm going to go into reports because that's my favorite area and show you what the report functionality looks like. Okay, yes. So you're going to go to Measures Report. And for those of you who have been traditionally involved with Mission Lifeline, just know that the standard Mission Lifeline reports that you received quarterly that you're used to receiving and looking at will be available starting in July. Those will be formulated again. And then those who will be involved in a regional report, which will be many of you. So, you know, a blinded hospital report by letter that looks at your facility compared to the others in the region, say the Houston region or the state of Arkansas, will be coming late summer as well. But you can go in here and run your reports as soon as you enter your patients. This, for those of you, it sounds like we have a lot of action users on the call. So two things differ. One is when you're going in and entering your patient data, you are going through a quality check as you go along. So you're going to be notified right away of anything that you need to modify. So let's say you entered time that the EMS left the scene that was before the time that they arrived at the scene. You're going to fix that right there when you have your electronic medical record up. It's going to give you those cues as you go. You don't need to submit and then get a report back and then go in and fix. You're going to be fixing as you go. So as soon as your patient information is in there, whether or not you hit complete or not complete, either way, they're going to pull into your reports. So as soon as your patient is in, you can run your report. So it's a very real-time environment. You can also enter your patients concurrently, and what I mean by that is if your patient walks in and you want to start tracking, you want to start filling this out on a tablet in the ED, you can start filling in this form. It's a real-time tool. You don't have to wait until they're discharged. You can get part of the information in and then, you know, finish it up later or just use it however you want to use it. You can use it as a real-time tracker so that you're not having to collect that information in a different place. But as soon as you enter your patient information, they're going to pull into your reports. So let me show you what this looks like. Let's say we want to look at our fourth quarter of 2017. So you can choose which reporting period you want. You can look at the whole year. You can look at the month. You can look at the day. I'm going to look at the quarter just because that's what we typically do for recognition purposes to see how the quarter is fitting. And then I can choose any of these things. I can choose achievement measures, descriptive measures, and STEMI quality reporting. But I'm typically, for recognition purposes, wanting to see like how I'm looking on my STEMI receiving center measures. So I'm going to select that one. And for this one, I'm not going to select any filter options, but just know that if you're looking for a particular item, so let's say you want to know, I'm going to open this up so you can see all the things in the achievement measures. Let's say you just want to know, how are we doing on ECG within 10 minutes of arrival on different days of the week? So you're just going to click, I want to know that, and which, on per arrival day, and any other filters that you want to place in this, and then apply parameters. I'm just going to do that one so that I can show you. So ECG within 10 minutes of arrival, by arrival day, in quarter 4. And let's hope there's some patients in this that are in the demo site. And the reports take longer to run in the demo site than it does in the real environment. I have also found that Google Chrome is the best browser to use. Internet Explorer, sometimes your reports won't run in, depending on the version that you're using. So I've been signing in through Google Chrome, and the reports run just fine. So we have 6 patients. We have 6 patients within this field, and I wanted to display it. Let's see. I think I did something wrong. Here we go. There we go. Okay. So I just selected arrival date over here in the comparison variables. It's going to give me all of them, and then I'm going to get my breakdown here. So here I can see if I had a problem on one day versus another day. You can see which patients fall into each of the columns down here, and you can actually just click in down here and get to those patients and take a look if you want to do a deeper dive. Okay. So let's go back and just do that same quarter, and I want to look at everything. I want to look at my Mission Lifeline report for that quarter and see how I'm performing. I'm going to do receiving center measures. And this is a little confusing, the apply parameters. To me, that's not intuitive. It should say run report, but that's what you click to run the report. Okay, so here I have all my measures, and I can see everything on one report. I can download it. Let me show you. I can download it. I can dig into it. Like, let's see. Let me find a fallout where we're not 100%. Okay. So here's where I can get to the patients. I can see the numerators and the denominators. This is running slower than it will in your environment. There we go. So here they popped in down here. Here's my patients. And I can click in to any of these and actually get to the form and see what's going on with the patients. I can see who was in the numerator and the denominator. And I can also print from here, and I can choose if I want all the pages or just one of the pages. If I want the filters in there. And this I love. So as former STEMI coordinator, I spent hours putting together information in PowerPoints. This will do it for you. So you can just pop these into a PowerPoint and take them into your meeting. You can also just take this whole format into your meeting and just do it live. Like if your physicians or your team see something that they want to dig into, you've got it in a live environment. You could just click in, you find a patient, you see what was going on with the patient. If somebody has a question, you've got the answer. You can dig in right in this live environment. Okay, I'm going to just click into one of these just to show you. So here I am back at the form. So you can pop back and forth between the two, and you can like look to see, you know, what was going on with the patient. Make any edits. Here's my little taskbar. So your tasks are the things that it's telling you as you go along. You know, this is a required field. So like what I was talking about earlier, where you're not submitting to pass a quality check. Your quality check is right here. You're going to be fixing things. This is a required value, so you're going to want to go in and select something for that value, for that task to go away, and they're just going to show up as little little tasks for you over on the left. So what I've been talking long enough. What any questions, or Kristen, Sarah, those from AHA, Michelle, anything that you want me to point out in the demo site?
Hey,
Any
Lonnie,
other tidbits? Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, while you're there at the taskbar, I believe if it's like a critical error or something that's absolutely mandatory, I don't believe it will allow you to save if you don't fill that out.
Okay. So that's your quality.
Hey, Lonnie, this is Sarah. Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah.
Hi, great. I had a question come up yesterday about the complete, like checking the complete, and whether that's something that happens automatically when the case is 100% filled out correctly, or if that's something that has to happen by the disease coordinator.
Yeah, great. That's a really, really good question. So they do not have to select complete to get the patient to like run in the reports. And like when we evaluate the data for recognition, we're running all of your data, whether you've selected complete or not. What that is really more for you to say, okay, I've completed this record. It's more for the hospital to select, you know, whether like this chart is complete. So it's really more for the
like
hospital.
An internal check and balance.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Thank you, Lonnie.
Yeah, great question.
Lonnie, can you point out how to do the drop-down menu if you don't know the seconds, the minutes the hours and the minutes, like right there by discharge on that. If you'll drop down, they can change it to include the hours and minutes, or if they don't know it, they can switch it back.
Yes, thank you. Yes. So this is gonna frustrate you if you don't realize that you can change it, because you may not know the hours and the minutes, but you can just switch back, and then it'll gray out. Yes, thank you for pointing that out.
Also, Lonnie, can you review how to export the patient list to an Excel?
Oh, I'll try. Okay, let's see. So let's go into
I think it's right behind that Joe's message. on the little widget, maybe the little circle.
Okay, here we go.
Oh no, that's how you set what you want on this page.
What about that X right next to the settings?
Oh yeah, yeah. So before I leave this, that's a good something that's really good to show as well. You can change up the view. So this is really customizable, your view. So if you want to see certain things and not others, you just go in here and select it and save it. And you can change it anytime you want to, but you know, you may not want to see this stuff. You may want to see something else, like whether you may want to see, you know, you want to maybe just look at your PCI patients or something. So you can change your view there. So it's good that we got into some of these, more of the details. So, okay, here we go. Export case grid.
There it goes at the bottom of your screen.
Okay,
thanks.
I'll give you. Yep. Here's your case list. What else am I missing? Little tips and tricks.
That action button, the blue action button next to the patient ID. If they click on it, they can print the cases, a printed case if they wanted. They can print the form, or they could add, if that patient returns, they can click add a new CAD form to connect the patient's IDs together.
Yes, that's a good point. So if you've had this patient before and they're a readmission, you can find them and then just add a new form for that patient, so it ties them together. That's a really nice new added feature with the upgraded platform. But you can open the form and print it, delete the patient here. And the little place for notes, how do I get those bubbles to pop up? Oh, here we go, show comments. So do you see this little box here that says show comments? If you have multiple abstractors working in your system, this is a really nice feature. So here's where I can make a note on any data element. So one good example is that we need to confirm the date of birth. Like, let's say the patient is confused when they come in, they don't have their driver's license, they don't remember their date of birth. So this is a place where you can make a note by the data element so that the next person that comes in is going to see like, okay, there's something here, need to make sure and check this. So, you know, did the family confirm date of birth or what have you, and then you could, somebody else can, you know, just make a note that confirmed with family, driver's license copied in chart or whatever you want to write in there. So it's kind of a little communication board for either yourself, you can make a note yourself, you know, or you can leave a note for someone else. Any other questions or anything else that folks from AHA on the line want to point out? This is a new tool for us as well. You know, the platform upgrade, we're finding things all the time and discovering things that are really cool about the new platform. So we're excited about it. Oh, I know you can change your view.
Hey, Lonnie. This is Tiffany. I jumped on late from St. David's North Austin.
Hi.
One of the things I wanted to make sure to ask about, and I believe we put in a request for it, on the previous platform there was a tab that you could click for measures, and if a record was complete, it would show you if the patient met or fell out of each measure.
Yes.
Is that something that's going to be coming in a future update with this?
It's coming. We loved it too, Tiffany. Yeah, it's coming in a future update. We liked that as well. We're all like, well, where did that go? We need that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. So does that mean if my abstractors want to verify that every measure was met, does the record have to be complete in order to show up in the report?
No.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be complete. It's going to show up in your report, and you're just going to drill down on the measure and find your fallouts that way.
So until that feature comes back, we can just run the report and see if we have any fallouts. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And I don't know if you were on when I go ahead.
Oh, no. This is Sarah Dushinsky. I'll pipe in when you're done.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that as a stopgap, until that measures tab is back, the kind of the error box, which used to be a tiny little pink box on the right, now it's got that My Tasks, and it's kind of a much more obvious way to see where you're falling out and what are the required measures. And so I feel like that's a nice stopgap. I love the measures calculate measures function myself, and I use that a lot. But since the task box is a little bit bigger and more obvious, I think it kind of helps guide the user to exactly what needs to be fixed. So it's kind of helpful in the interim.
Okay. Does it include there, though, if a patient is going to fall out, like if the EKG is greater than 10 minutes or door-to-balloon time was greater than 90 minutes? Is that going to show up there, or is it just showing what fields need to be completed?
That's great, a question, actually. It doesn't really, as far as I know, Lonnie, can you speak to that? It doesn't do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to alert you to, you know, what you need to fix, but you're going to need to go into your operational reports and drill down into the measure to see who's falling out.
Okay, and I did get to see you do that. So, okay, thank you.
Good. You're welcome. Thank you. Anything else?
Hi, it's Kristen. If you forget your password now, there's a little button to click, and when you log in, I think it's forgot password, so you no longer have to call into the help desk to reset your password. And also, if you are abstracting for another module like stroke or heart failure or something like that, you'll have to use your old password for those for the time being. But if you forget your password, just click there. It should have prompted you to set up security questions. when you first logged in and reset from your temporary to your new password. And so if you forget it, just click right there and you don't have to call the help desk anymore.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice feature. We've all done that. Anything else before we close out? Okay, well, much appreciation for joining us this morning, early this morning. We do the quality exchanges every quarter. So when your regional director sends your reports to you, there's information about when the next quality exchange will be held. And like I said, it's just, we provide any updates, but we also just allow folks to join in. Share ideas and information and ask questions. So thank you again for joining us and hope to see you next time. Take care, everyone. Have a good day.